All right, yes, welcome to the program, everyone. It is 5 minutes after the hour. It's Wednesday, November 15th, 2023. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. All right, we got a lot to cover today, so I'm going to jump right into it. And there's a lot of things going on a lot of different people. And here in the beginning, I may go through things a little fast, but don't worry, guys. We're here till 9, but there's so many things to fit in today. We got to move, and we got to move quick. First, I want to talk about what's going on with Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro over Israel. And you know, Candace Owens, I've never thought Candace Owens was all that bright. Candace Owens was a very vocal never-Trumper in the first campaign, and then she realized the way to fame and fortune was to be blacks for Trump, and then she got on that train and became a household name. She's one of the most famous women in America, no doubt about it, Candace Owens. She several months ago trashed President Trump in such a petty way of self-importance that her ego just has exploded beyond imagination. And now she's been going after Israel, and her and Ben Shapiro have really had some problems over this. And, you know, typically I wouldn't follow these personality conflicts like this, like what's going on between Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens, but I think there's more at play here. You know, usually things like this are, you know, publicity stunts so we can get views, hits, clicks, likes, and all this stuff and grow our following. That's not what this one's about. Israel right now is in a fight for its very existence. And a lot of people mistakenly say, well, I'm America first. This is about things in the Middle East. I saw this guy, TheQuartering. He won't say Israel. He keeps saying the sandbox. This guy in TheQuartering, he's like a online commentator. And I don't know why he doesn't say Israel, says the sandbox for sure, but maybe he doesn't want to take a position. He doesn't want to offend Palestinian people, and he doesn't want to offend Jews. So instead of saying Palestine or Israel or something, he says the sandbox. Very bizarre. It's Israel, and Israel is fighting for its very right to exist. And for those who think that this is this has nothing to do with the American First agenda, you're not paying attention. Look at these protests that have been going on. Our White House was attacked by Palestinians and Palestinian supporters last week and defaced. They covered it in red paint signifying blood with handprints. It was disgusting. You've seen what's going on at the different college campuses around the country, different cities across America. There's one story I'm going to get to later. They have raised the Palestinian flag over an American city. We're going to get to that in a bit. So what's going on in Israel's fight for survival has a lot to do with what's going on here. You know, and the Muslim ban of President Trump, boy, oh boy. Too bad he didn't get in sooner to do that. Look at what's happened. Barack Obama, the Obama-Biden administration won, because now we're in the Biden-Obama administration too. But in the Obama-Biden administration part 1, the first 8 years, they brought in more Muslim people than I think anyone realized. And now here we are seeing the result of Obama's mass importation of unassimilated Muslims at these protests around the world. And, you know, Israel, I'm not going to give a history lesson of Israel other than to say this. Israel was established in 1948 because when the Second World War was over and the Holocaust was fully revealed to the world, a lot of what had happened in the Holocaust is because no one supported the Jews, and Jews had nowhere to go. Countries around the world wouldn't even accept Jewish refugees, including this country run by one of the most disgusting presidents, Democrat FDR, who would not allow Jewish refugees to enter the United States, sent them back to Europe to be killed in the Holocaust. And Israel was established in 1948 so that Jews would have a safe space. I use that term because liberals seem to like safe spaces unless you're a Jew, okay? But Israel was established in 1948 as a safe space, so to speak, for Jews. So that Jews had a place to go, to be safe, to not be exterminated, to not be murdered, to not be raped and kidnapped, etc., etc., etc. There's no two-state solution. There's nothing. Any talk of a two-state solution is just an effort to take away as much of Israel as they possibly can, with the eventual goal of these monsters to push the Jews out of Israel. All right? And Candace Owens is, the thing with Candace Owens is she's very pretty, she's very charismatic. She's a spokesmodel. Okay? She's a spokesmodel. You go and watch The Hunt for Red October, and Alec Baldwin sounds brilliant. You hear Alec Baldwin on his own, he shoots people dead and sounds like an idiot, like many celebrities, many actors. That's kind of how Candace Owens is to a degree. She's got a small section of topics that she's well versed on, that she's okay on. But when she gets out of that area, she sounds like what she is. And some of the things that she said involving Israel and now Ben Shapiro personally, pretty bad. And Ben Shapiro has responded. And after the break, I'm going to play a couple of pieces of audio. Now, I'm not going to spend the whole morning talking about Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro, but I am going to talk about it in the beginning of the show here. There's other things going on, but I'm going to break this down and talk about it because there is a problem with anti-Semitism in this country. And I am of the opinion that Candace Owens, who's no longer MAGA, she trashed Trump, Candace Owens is part of the problem of the spread of anti-Semitism in this country. Now, that being said, I've never been a great fan of Ben Shapiro. He also was a never-Trumper, and I'm not a fan of never-Trumpers because I love President Trump. But when it comes to Israel, he is spot on, right on the money, and Candace Owens is a very, very terrible person when it comes to this. So, Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro did something that you may not think is a big deal, but if you're a millennial, oh my goodness, it's a big deal. And what's going on, I want to stress, what's going on between Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro is not a fake controversy to stir up excitement about them. And when this is done, Candace Owens could end up in a very, very bad place doing very bad things, which I'll explain to you in a little bit. But what Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens have done that may seem petty to a lot of people is a big deal if you're a millennium. They've unfollowed each other on Twitter or X, whatever you're calling it. They've unfollowed each other on social media. That's a big deal. Millennials unfollow each other on social media. That's like they've had a really big falling out. So we're going to take our first break. I'll get back with the audio sound bites, and I'll tell you what I think's going on here. And also take your calls at 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action.
Oh, man. Hey, guys, welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, make sure that you like the video. Hey, what's going on? Okay, Don reset the system that's used for that device, but he said he thinks the problem was on our end with the mix minus. So if it doesn't work today, you have to talk to Mike, and he'll have to work with Don to get it taken care of. But Don seemed to think the problem was on our end.
I was going to say, Earth was fine yesterday when he went on.
He uses something different.
Does
He uses a different system than they use. He uses Skype, doesn't he?
No, he uses Comrex.
Well, okay. I'm not sure he uses the same program. I don't know. I didn't talk to Don. They did. So I don't know what all was relayed, but that's just the message they left me this morning.
No worries.
So we'll find out. If it doesn't work, we'll do it on the phone, and then Don, you have to talk to Mike, and he'll Don will coordinate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know, like, especially with them too, it's really easy when.
Yeah, they'll do. Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, do your thing.
Exactly.
Oh, what was I gonna say?
It's no problem. I'm sure we'll get it worked out.
Well, you know, let me make sure Eric's not get on the thing anymore. So if he tries to get on, he can't get on, or at least from here. What the heck? Gets restarted. They say unfollowing is big in sports.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Especially if a player's like contract's up and he just decides to leave, or trade talks are happening, they decide to unfollow. Like that's what they always base it on.
Yep.
And it's like, oh yeah, they're leaving.
Oh yeah. All right. Donna was talking about our engineer, one of our engineers at the radio station. Oh, yes.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, yes. I was just listening to the recorded commercial for our MAGA cruise, April 27th on the Celebrity Beyond, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. I'm very excited, and of course, you're all invited. If you are already booked, make sure you sign up for these shore excursions. If you have trouble doing that, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. He'll walk you through it. I had to do that about 2 weeks ago. A couple weekends ago, I called him up. He walked me through it. And I got myself and my daughter and her friend all on the shore excursions. These shore excursions are private excursions just for people in our group. And if you'd like to join us on the cruise, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. I'm not sure what cabins are left available. I have no idea. But he'll let you know when you call 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. So let me get back to this. So Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro having this big falling out over Israel, and this started last week. I played this last week, but I'm going to play it this morning here again, because you may have forgotten. Candace Owens had a Jewish comedian on, and just really showed her stupidity when it comes to the situation in Israel, and so far as Israel's treatment of Muslims inside Israel. Listen to this exchange. This is what began the downfall of Candace Owens with Shapiro, and then we'll get into the updates that are going on this morning about it.
You have
many times, yeah.
Many times. Have you been to Jerusalem?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the things that I'm trying to understand, because I've been as well. And when people call it, this bastion of freedom, or it's just like America, it's not the sense that I had when I was there. And again, we had talked earlier on about how our own experiences obviously color our opinions. And I grew up, at my grandparents' house. My grandfather grew up in a segregated South. And so when I'm walking through Jerusalem and you see, and they say these are the Muslim quarters, this is where the Muslims are allowed to live, that doesn't feel like a bastion of freedom to me. So I guess.
Oh, I don't think it's where they're allowed to live in Jerusalem. I think it's that there's an Armenian quarter. It's not saying the Armenians can only live here. It's that there are communities, just like there's a Jewish community in Jersey here, and there's a Muslim community in here. I don't think, to my understanding, it's not restrictions within Israel proper.
I think it is where they have. I think it is where they have. I mean, at least that's what the rabbi who was taking me around. He said these are the Muslim quarters, so this is where the Muslims.
live, but he didn't say anything about legally saying they cannot live in other places within Israel proper. I mean, there's Israeli Arab citizens that have full rights. Israeli Arabs.
I'm only talking about Jerusalem, so I haven't been to Tel Aviv or anything like that. I'm just talking about particularly. My understanding from the rabbi was that this is where the Muslims have to live in Jerusalem, and it looked very different from where the Jewish people were living. And that, again, that could not be any fault of any person other than this is how they take care of their stuff, and this is the way we take care of their stuff. But it was noticeably a lot dirtier. It was noticeably a lot darker, and it just made me feel, as a Black American and knowing my own history, that this isn't freedom to me. Like, if you can't just decide, like, I want to live on that street, or I want to live on this street, but maybe I'm wrong, and it wasn't. Right. They were just all. That might have been a misunderstanding.
It might have been a misunderstanding. Imagine if you went into an inner city in the United States and somebody told you this is a predominantly Black neighborhood and you said it looked more run down. Would you say that America is systemically racist? Because
if I was giving a tour of it, I wouldn't say this is the Black quarters. Probably.
Or this is a Black neighborhood, but maybe somebody in the group might misunderstand that.
Yeah, maybe I did.
Okay, so now that was last week, and that's pretty bad. She's saying that Israel racially segregates Muslims in Israel, which is just totally not true. I'm not going to call her a liar. I just think she's not informed. She's talking about something she doesn't know about, and she has a very god-awful opinion. And then when she's busted on it, she blames the rabbi, which I believe had to be impossible that a rabbi told her such a thing. So then Candace Owens this week said just this strange thing about Nikki Haley that was kind of sarcastic, and then she said something about Israel. This is that. Hold on.
I am here today to endorse Nikki Haley for president of Israel. I think she's earned that. I think Bibi Netanyahu is going through a very bad time right now. Support for Israel has virtually collapsed socially. If you're paying attention to the trends, you're paying attention to what people are watching, you're paying attention to the protests.
Okay. So, that stuff about Nikki Haley is obviously a joke, but this other thing is, which is kind of revealing, she said Israel is losing support if you're looking at social trends. So does she not have her own thoughts and opinions, or does she just go with what the trend is? And support for Israel is very strong. Now, it depends, I guess, who you're following on social media. The people I follow, the trends I see on social media are pro-Israel, not anti-Israel. I guess it depends on what you follow. So Ben Shapiro was speaking to a group. Now, this is the new piece with Ben Shapiro. Now, the audio on this is not the greatest. I'm going to play it, and then I'll tell you what he said. But I want to play it. I think you can hear it, but it may not be the best audio. But beggars can't be choosers. Some guy in the audience recorded this on his cell phone, so this, and he wasn't right there next to Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro was on a stage speaking, but someone asked him about Candace Owens, and this is after they unfollowed each other on social media. And then Candace Owens put out a tweet that I'm going to share with you, and this tweet will be the final part, and then I'll tell you what her goal is. But this tweet that she sent out, I believe, may be the most anti-Semitic thing I have seen an American ever post. It's very strange. Which if her intention is what I think it was, I'll share that with you after we do this. But this is Ben Shapiro yesterday. He's at this event. He's on stage. And someone asks him about Candace Owens and her insane comments about Israel. Listen.
Yes, the question was about Candace Owens. I think her behavior during this is disgraceful. I think she's been absolutely disgraceful. I think that her faux sophistication on these particular issues has been ridiculous. It's not faux sophistication, it's ridiculous. Everybody can see the moves that she's making, the things that she's saying, and I find it distracting.
Okay. I know that audio is not that good, but I don't care. I wanted to play it for you. It was short. He said that her positions are reprehensible, that she doesn't know what she's talking about, and you could hear anger in his voice. Now, then Candace Owens sent out a strange tweet yesterday. I have time for that. Yeah, let me go through this tweet. Then after the bottom of the hour break, I'll tell you what I think Candace Owens is doing and how this is going to destroy her and what she will end up doing when this is done. This is in Mediaite, this article I'm going to read. Candace Owens posted a cryptic tweet Tuesday, hours after Ben Shapiro, co-founder of the Daily Wire, and her boss went viral online for slamming her comments about the Israel-Hamas war. That's the audio I just played where he said she's reprehensible. And she posted, quoting Matthew 5:9, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake." She posted, that's Matthew 5:9. She continued, "No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other." Candace Owens added, concluding, "You cannot serve both God and money." And then she had a final comment, "Christ is king," which I agree with that part. And of course, she's quoting the Bible. But she said on her own, you cannot serve both God and money. And on her Twitter there, is she saying that Ben Shapiro and his support and positions on Israel are based on money? The Daily Wire is his outfit his news outlet that he co-founded with his friend Jeremy. And if you go to their website, 60 to 90% of it, I haven't put a count, but a big, huge chunk of it's all about the Israeli war. And I understand that. But is she saying that Ben Shapiro is doing what he's doing for money? Is she saying that Jews do things for money? Is that anti-Semitic? The Jewish money reference there? It sounds very anti-Semitic to me. In fact, incredibly anti-Semitic. And it was a direct response to him saying that she was, reprehensible. And he said she's been a disgrace, that she's disgraceful. Is what she said anti-Semitic? Is she accusing Ben Shapiro of doing what he does for money and not for what he really believes in? Now, I'll take a break, and after the break, I'll finish up with this Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro. And I don't care for any of these two characters, but I'm on Ben Shapiro's side with this one, I'll tell you. She has a plan. She's doing this for a very particular reason. I'll tell you what I think that is when we get back. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig, back after this.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
She tweeted that in response to him saying that her comments were reprehensible.
Good day, everybody. Our highs are only going to be up to about 80 at best today. It's going to be blustery, windy, and quite rainy with heavy.
It sounds pretty bad to me. I'm going to tell you what I think she's up to and why she's doing this and what she could end up doing. But the reason I'm talking about it is and I'll have to restate this when I get back on the air after the break. But I'm not doing this just to cover some soap opera drama between Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens. That's not why I'm talking about it. I don't cover soap opera drama. We got a problem in this country. This country has been overtaken at levels that I don't think anybody realizes of pro-terrorist Muslim people and pro-terrorist American people. Not just at our universities, but in all the American cities. And it's a big problem. And what the Biden regime want to do are relocate tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of more Palestinians to this country, if you listen to them talking. So this is a very important issue. And I was watching that guy, TheQuartering, who won't say Israel. He keeps calling it the sandbox. I mean, what a weakling TheQuartering guy is. And says, well, this doesn't involve America. They can handle this on their own. If you haven't noticed, this does involve America. We have high-profile members of Congress who are supporting the Palestinian terrorist. So it's very important to stand up on the right side here with what's going on with Israel's fight for survival, because Benjamin Netanyahu is right when he says if we don't stop them there, it's going to come to America next. It's already here in America. Okay, so you're not a fan of either one. What, money or evil? Which is it? Or Shapiro? Or it's not about. I'm not a big fan of Ben Shapiro. I'm not a fan of either of them. Okay, but this is about an issue beyond them. But I got to explain that again after the break so people understand why I'm talking about these two. Yeah, Bruce. Yeah. Unassimilated, add to that, But you're right. Big problem. It's a big problem, and we're seeing that problem now. Yeah, Mayorkas should be impeached, so should Biden and others. Yeah. Now, guys, don't forget, if you haven't done it, there's a link pinned to the chat, and there's also in the description, order your Mighty Manga line. I got a big shipment going out today. If you order during the show today, your Mighty Manga line will be shipped this morning. And if you order more than one at MightyMangaLion.com, you get a discount. This is a great Christmas gift for anyone on your Christmas gift giving list. This is the only Trump-inspired merchandise where he's wearing the MAGA hat. And of course, Trump inspired this lion. This is also available exclusively through me at MightyMangaLion.com. This lion is the one that I took to Trump's star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood on Saturday. I was showing everybody yesterday. These paws actually stood on Trump's star. Isn't that cool? This particular one here. Yes, yes, yes. So order yours, MightyMangaLion.com. Again, there's a link in the video description. And if you're watching live, there is a link pinned to the chat, or you can just go to the website, MightyMangaLion.com. And remember, if you order during the show today, your line will be mailed out today. Got a big shipment going out. And also, if you order more than one, you get a discount. So, MightyMangaLion.com, order yours. That's also the lion that's been to Mar-a-Lago. So that lion's, he's been around. All right, we're coming back shortly. Yeah, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video. When you guys like the video, it helps get this video and my other videos recommended to people who have not yet found my channel, and helps us grow our great MAGA community here. This is the most MAGA, pro-Trump place you'll find anywhere, not just on YouTube, but anywhere. All right, we're coming back after this.
To the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, welcome back. Callers on hold, stand by. Just let me finish my point here on Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. We'll take some calls, and I will move on to other topics. But I want to read. I was telling this to everybody during the break in our YouTube live chat room. But I got to repeat it to you guys. I'm not talking about Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro because of some childish soap opera celebrity drama. What's going on here is a very fight for the survival of the American way of life. We're losing our culture. There's a town that is flying the Palestinian flag right now in America. There's an island that is a small little island in the middle of the Rio Grande that's part of America. It's American soil that the drug cartels are occupying, okay? We have millions of immigrants, some legal, some illegal, many being imported, that are coming to this country, not assimilating, and turning pockets of this country into foreign lands. That's why I'm talking about this. It's very important, this topic. So let me just summarize what's going on, why Candace Owens is doing this. This is what my opinion is. Candace Owens signed this deal with Ben Shapiro, and I think she wants out of it. I think she wants to get fired. I think there's a high likelihood that she will be fired over her anti-Semitism. She wants out of this contract for whatever reason. She got 2 kids and one on the way? Or one and another one. I think she's got 2 kids and one on the way, right? Yeah. She's got 2 kids and one on the way. She doesn't want to do this. And if you notice, the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro's outfit, they don't use her as much as they used to. They got a lot of other people they use. I think she's trying to get fired, and she's chosen as a path to get fired, pushing Ben Shapiro's buttons with this anti-Semitism. Now, I'm not saying she's not anti-Semitic, that she's just pretending. I think she's very uninformed, uneducated, and just stupid when it comes to these issues. Very juvenile, doesn't understand. She's like these college kids that you see on TV Charlie Kirk talking to when it comes to Israel. But she's chosen this as a pathway to get fired. She thinks she can do better on her own. Well, the problem she has is that she's alienated the MAGA people for the disgusting things she said about President Trump months ago, which were so petty and pathetic. He didn't listen to me. I had advice for him, and he's too old to understand the internet. Remember that? I couldn't believe. Who does she think she is? So when she gets fired and goes out on her own, she's alienated the MAGA world, and she's chosen to go out on this anti-Semitic bit. So what she very well could find herself doing is becoming, as opposed to someone who was doing something good with the Blexit, leading blacks to freedom and escaping from the Democrat liberal plantation to the Republican Party and MAGA. She was like a Harriet Tubman-like figure, and that was good. She should have stuck to it. But now she could very well end up on her own and becoming a full-time anti-Semite is what she's looking to do. I think she wants out of her contract. I think she wants to get fired. She's trying to get fired, and she's chosen a very professional and personal destructive way to accomplish this. All right, now I'll take your calls on this, and I will move on to some other topics as the show goes on because there's a lot happening. Our number is 1-888-GIL, Kane, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey there, Brian. IB.
Hey, IB.
Well, you already said it all. But there's another angle. What you said is good about me getting out of the contract. 2 other angles. Her go-to is always referring back to her dad, having the visual of seeing people come on the property to harm them, and her guard, her dad, grandfather was stuck stand guards at the window, willing to shoot and fight back. So she also have other ideals and ideas of what he grew up with in his way of thinking that was being transferred to her, not knowingly. Like, I'm sorry to say, a lot of blacks don't like Jews, okay? They think Jews controls the bank and the money and so forth, or Jews just
correct.
Correct. So there's an ingrained to a degree hatred from, I'm black, there's an ingrained hatred towards Jews. It's just an automatic thing, which is still in her because she has no wisdom, like I say. Okay, she admires and cherishes her grandfather, and what she has been taught can only be. If she says she doesn't want the money, but it has to be the money getting out of the contract, or the source to it is the question itself. Why did she repeatedly want the guy to say that the Jews had them in a kind of a slummish way of living when they choose to live in that's their quarters? They choose. Yeah. Way, but she came back to it almost again and again, like one of those ABC reporters not getting their way. You see, then her way out of it obviously was to blame then because she didn't get the answer. Mm-hmm. The source of that question, why she asked it, who made her ask the question, will give you a piece of the puzzle of why she's doing what she's doing.
Yeah, and she, I agree with you that there's a lot of anti-Semitism in liberal black circles, and you say you're black. You call yourself IB. Is that short for I'm black? What or not? Is it just a coincidence? You call yourself IB.
I will tell you on one of your weekend shows, because I think it's a little embarrassing for me to say what it actually is to an audience. So it's kind of.
Oh, what do you mean? I have no audience on my. What do you mean? I have no audience on my weekend show?
No, it means I wanted to say where not as many people might hear.
Oh, so not many people listen? All right, I appreciate the call. Oh, boy, I'm sorry I asked. I appreciate that. Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike. I flew over Louisiana over the weekend, and when I was coming home from California, and I was thinking about you, I said, maybe I'm flying over Mike in Louisiana's house.
Depends on which part of Louisiana you're flying over. But, yeah, you're right about her being a spokesmodel. I mean, she fit very nicely on Star Search, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, she wants to get fired. What Candace Owens is a professional bridge burner. She burnt the bridges with Trump. Now she's burning the bridges with Ben Shapiro and them. So I mean, I don't want to say it couldn't happen to a nicer girl, but
well, what could happen is, Ben Shapiro. I'm not a big fan of Ben Shapiro at all. Okay, but his partner Jeremy Boring is his name. It's Jeremy. I don't remember his last name. He's a pretty smart guy. And I don't think they're going to be so quick to fire Candace Owens. I think what they very well may do is reduce her role to as minimum of a position as they possibly are allowed to contractually, and make her suffer through it. That's a very strong possibility. But if no matter how this goes, she's going to be forever labeled an anti-Semite. This talk towards Ben Shapiro that you can't serve God and money. That's one of the most anti-Semitic tropes that are made towards Jews, and she made it. I think that's exactly what she was saying. Like, what, does she do things for free, by the way?
No, she doesn't do anything for free, and that's the point. I mean, we could be looking at, I don't want to say another Tucker Carlson thing where they're basically paying him to do something, paying him not to do something, or
There's nothing wrong to making a living, but the way she said it involving all this was very strange. Hey, it's good to talk to you, Mike. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, I think Candace Owens is trying to get fired, and that maybe she has something lined up after, but I think Ben Shapiro should not fire her, because I think that would throw a wrench in her plans. I see something, and we're just seeing the real Candace Owens. She had a school just like Ron DeSantis.
Absolutely. Yeah, she did. And when she came out and attacked Trump months ago and said terrible things about him, I was done with her then. And she's not as pretty as she used to be, tell you the truth. Since she went against Trump, she doesn't look as pretty. She's gotten full of herself.
And, some people in here saying something about blacks and Jews. You know what? The blacks and Jews have a lot of things in common. A, they're minority and they're hated and they've been targeted for a long time. And some people in here that say they don't. Well, if you can't see the similarity, I feel sorry for you, because the Jews for thousands of years have been targeted and attacked, and anybody that steps out against the state of Israel is an enemy of God, it says.
And the thing about, you were talking about minorities, Jews in this country, in America, only make up 3, maybe 4% of the population.
That's right.
Very small minority.
And the majority of those, Brian, are liberals and vote for Democrats.
I know.
Blows my mind.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy. And the same with the blacks.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the service, you know that, and I had a lot of good black friends. And I am baffled by their supporting the Democrat Party, who is their biggest oppressor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and always have been, by the way.
And always have been. And it just is unbelievable. But I think now President Trump really awoke a lot of them. And they say he's at 20% of the black vote. I think it's higher than that now.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Hey, Jeff, I got to run for a break. I got to take a break, but thanks for the call. All right, callers on hold, stand by. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth.
What do you guys, let me know in the chat. Is Candace Owens trying to get fired? Yes or no? Is Candace Owens trying to get fired? Yes or no? Yeah. Yeah, his call was very good. Jeff had a great call. Mm-hmm. Most are saying yes. Mm-hmm. Well, the question is, we'll do a new question. Okay, got another question I'll ask you, so let's not confuse it with the first one. Is Candace Owens really a conservative, or is she just pretending for fame and fortune? So real or fake would be the response. Real or fake conservative? Real or fake conservative? No, pretending. Real or fake conservative? No, it's split. Each side play. Yeah, she plays both sides. Yeah. I don't think she's political at all. I think she's just wanted to be a big social media influencer. That Nikki Haley endorsement was a parody, a wannabe Oprah. Opportunist, yeah. John Schill said opportunist. I would say so. You know, when you're a pretty woman, you've got a lot of opportunities. You can, to make money. You can, if you're pretty and a conservative, you can go very far. If you're pretty black conservative female, you can go incredibly far. All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. It is Medicare open enrollment period, but that window is closing. It's closing soon, in less than a month. Open enrollment period is the only time that you can make changes to your existing Medicare policy. You want to call Debbie at I Will Advisors. She'll review your policy at no charge. Make sure that your doctor, specialist, and prescriptions are all covered next year. If you have a supplement, she'll make sure you're not paying too much. And she represents all major insurance carriers, not just one. So she'll make sure that she finds policies and supplements that fit you, your needs, and your budget, not push it into something because she only represents one insurance carrier. She covers the entire state of Florida, so no matter where you are, Debbie from I Will Advisors can help you. And her family have been with the Steve Kane Show since 1994, helping Steve Kane Show listeners with their Medicare all those years. That's absolutely amazing, isn't it? That's 30 years, man. 30 years her family's been with the Steve Kane Show. Give her a call, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Chris from Kentucky.
All right, Kentucky. What's up?
The thing about Candace Owens, did you also know that she endorsed Vivek Ramaswamy for president?
I haven't heard that. It doesn't surprise me. I don't know that to be true, but yeah.
Vivek went on Patrick Bet-David's podcast and said that if he wins the nomination that he was going to pick Ron DeSantis as his VP.
Oh.
Do not trust Vivek.
I've been talking about him for months. He is a Soros plant who's Soros's first major attempt that we know of to infiltrate the MAGA movement. And it's disappointing. You know, my friend Laura Loomer supports Ramaswamy, not to be president. She's behind Trump. But she's friends and a fan of Vivek Ramaswamy, and I don't get it.
Right, that's what I was getting ready to say. And a lot of them keep pushing for him, too.
Well, a lot of the support you get, like you're talking about, I don't know about Candace Owens and Ramaswamy, but I know about Loomer, is they're millennials. And millennials, they're like a clan. And because he's a millennial and they're millennials, they get all excited. And they get, you know, that's what a lot of that's about.
Oh, okay. Well, I just thought I'd let you know that.
All right, I appreciate the call. All right, now, moving on, and you're welcome to call in about Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens as the show goes on, but I want to move on to some other things. And I was talking on at the end of my podcast last night, which, by the way, you should listen to. The Brian Craig Show podcast has been named the number 3 must-listen-to conservative podcast in America. Number 1 was Mark Levin, and I don't even think that should count, because that's just a rebroadcast of his radio show, but that's fine. Number 2 was Glenn Beck's The Blaze, and number 3, the Brian Craig Show podcast. I'm serious about that. Named the number 3 must-listen-to conservative podcast in America, and I co-host that show with my wife. We've been doing it for over a decade. It is on all podcast platforms, even Audible. You know I'm on Audible? That's right. That's fancy and sophisticated. And I also upload my podcast to my YouTube channel, too, by the way. But at the end of my podcast yesterday, this story about Nikki Haley broke. And Nikki Haley, in my opinion, is the most dangerous woman in America. And Nikki Haley as president would be more dangerous than having Hillary Clinton as president. And I am not kidding you on that. Now, even though Vivek Ramaswamy is a Soros plant, he did expose her military-industrial complex connections. She was deeply in debt. Now she's a millionaire many times over in the private sector with all these fake jobs that you get on the boards of directors of companies so that you can go on TV pretending to give political analysis or analysis on this issue or that issue when you're really just doing an infomercial for the military-industrial complex company that you have a fake job for. And that's why she's so pro-war. She wanted to carpet bomb Iran. Can you imagine? Yeah, sure. I mean, she's crazy. And then yesterday, she was talking to Harris Faulkner. And did you hear what she said about, oh my God, let me play this for you. Nikki Haley is a scary woman. She is a dangerous woman. And I label her the most dangerous woman in America right now. Because she is being pushed very hard by the Uniparty. The donor class, they've given up on DeSantis, they've given up on Ramaswamy, they're now getting behind Nikki Haley. And they play the clip, and then we'll talk about it. But this is Nikki Haley yesterday. This is yesterday on Fox News Channel. You probably didn't see it, because I know a lot of you have left Fox News. And this broke towards the very tail end of my podcast, and I talked about it briefly at the end of my podcast. But listen to this, and I want to hear your thoughts on this as well. Nikki Haley yesterday with Harris Faulkner.
When I get into office, the first thing we have to do, social media accounts, social media companies, they have to show America their algorithms. Let us see why they're pushing what they're pushing. The second thing is every person on social media should be verified by their name. That's, first of all, it's a national security threat. When you do that, all of a sudden people have to stand by what they say, and it gets rid of the Russian bots, the Iranian bots, and the Chinese bots. And then you're going to get some civility when people know their name is next to what they say. Accountability. And they know their pastor and their family members going to see it. It's going to help our kids, and it's going to help our country.
Okay, wow. So Nikki Haley wants to have a national registration that before you can use Facebook, Twitter, or any other social media platform, your identity must be verified. She wants to dox you. Your full name must be verified, and your full name must be known publicly to everyone before you're allowed to post to social media. She says that's going to be her first act as president. Now, of course, she's not going to become president, but, and this makes her an incredibly dangerous woman. You don't have to show that much information to register to vote and vote. You don't have to do that much to get a license to drive a car, because that's not available to the entire world. And the reason I label her the most dangerous woman in America is because of this. She's a warmonger. She wants to carpet bomb Iran, which could lead us towards a nuclear holocaust. Iran is closely allied with Russia. They work with China, as well as the entire Muslim terrorist organization of the World Network. Okay, they're behind all of that. And she wants to carpet bomb them. She's incredibly emotional and cannot be trusted in stressful situations of the nuclear football. You saw how she lost her cool with Vivek Ramaswamy during the last debate. I wonder if he's going to try to push her buttons on the next one. And then she threatened him on social media. So what she's talking about is insane. It's frightening. What other registrations does she want made public? Does she want a national gun registration? Why not, right? If you have to have all of your identity put out there, your full name and identity verified, so that anytime you tweet, anyone can look it up and find out where you live, where you work, where your kids live, where your wife works. Yeah, that's brilliant. It's one of the. You know why there's been such an increase in identity theft over the last few years? Facebook. People, you know what they do? People are friends with their family. So what happens? Identity thieves go to your Facebook and get your mother's maiden name, which is a security feature on so much of the credit. Did you know that? Yeah, don't let mom follow you on Facebook. That's what identity thieves look for. Why do you think you get friend requests from all these weirdos around the world? Because they're identity thieves, phishing. And Nikki Haley wants to increase the, identity theft, because everybody's information will be out there. But what she's really talking about is doxing people and controlling free speech, because she's part of the uniparty Republican establishment. And they view what is stopping them from maintaining power against Trump and MAGA, the uniparty, is that there's too much free speech going on out there, that MAGA people have gotten a movement going through social media. So if they have to identify, if they identify everyone, a lot of these people won't be posting on social media, and we'll be able to regain control of the narrative, regain control of the nation, and the MAGA movement will fall away. She is a dangerous, scary, frightening, emotional woman. And I don't say that in a sexist way. I'm not trying to be sexist, to be funny or something, like some people do. She's a bad person, Nikki Haley. And another thing about her is she thinks she's brilliant, smart, and accomplished. What's one thing she's accomplished that's good in her entire public life as governor or ambassador to the UN? I don't know of anything. Do you? No. But she's like Hillary Clinton. She thinks she is a well-accomplished woman who's done this long list of things, which I don't know anything that she's done. Do any of you know anything that she's done? That's Nikki Haley. Very, very dangerous person. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Isn't that absolutely amazing? This very well may be the longest running radio show with the same host in America. It very well may be. Steve Kane's been on the air since 1977. That's a long time. We're going to take our break. We have 2 hours to go. Our number is toll-free, no matter where you're listening to us, at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our break for the top of the hour, come back with your calls. I'm going to move on to some other topics, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on Nikki Haley and Candace Owens and Shapiro. We'll be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid Paid for by the Candace Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio.
All right, I got to get organized here for the next segment. All right.
Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Let's see, where am I? Okay. I'm just getting things organized for the next segment. JP says Vivek is more MAGA than any other Republican candidates. Really? Does that include Trump, JP? Is he more MAGA than Trump? You cannot trust Ramaswamy. Cannot trust that guy. Saying someone is smart doesn't mean you approve of their actions. Many smart people do evil things. I mean, look at, Ted Bundy was very intelligent. Very intelligent. But he was a serial killer. Saying he was smart, the judge that sent him to prison on the death penalty said he was smart. Saying someone's smart doesn't mean you approve of what they do. That Trump derangement just gets these people on the left that hate Trump to say just stupid things. Oh my gosh. I can't believe what I just heard on the top of the hour news. Wow. All right, we're coming back shortly, guys. 30 seconds. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, there's over 1,100 in the live stream right now. Make sure you all like the video. Only a handful of you have liked the video. When you like the video, that helps spread the word about my channel and gets this video and my other videos recommended to people that have not yet found me. So please take a moment and like the video. All right. Oh, man, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We are back. Hour number 2 has begun. I was just listening to our top of the hour news. They were talking about Biden meeting the Chinese president. And what they said is that Biden is now calling Trump. They said, Joe Biden said in a speech to fundraisers yesterday that Donald Trump is one of only 2 presidents to lose jobs while in office. That's why he calls him Donald Hoover Trump, or whatever he's calling him. Maybe he should talk to the Chinese president about that virus that shut down the entire world and killed how many people? Trump didn't lose jobs. The country and the planet were shut down for the better part of a year. Talk to the Chinese president about that, Biden. I doubt he'll do that. You know, these people are just sick. This so-called summit meeting with China is disgusting. You know, here we have this war going on with Russia that we should not be involved in, and Biden won't talk to Putin. Putin might want peace. Money stops flowing through their money laundering operation in Ukraine if there's peace. But he'll talk to China? How many Americans have died this year because of China? And it's beyond just fentanyl. I've told you guys this many times. This illegal border action going on is all China. And it's beyond the fentanyl is 100% China. China manufactures the fentanyl. They should stop the manufacturing and exportation of fentanyl. Now, if he could get China to stop doing that, that'd be a good thing. But he won't. You know what Biden wants from China? You know what he wants? A check. But maybe another diamond will do for Hunter. That's all he wants. Look at how they're honoring China in San Francisco, because the Democrats, this is their sugar daddy who's coming here to write them checks. That's what that's all about. But China manufactures the fentanyl, puts it on ships, ships it to Mexican ports, unloads it, hands it off to the drug cartels, and they put it in the bags and pockets and backpacks of the illegals as they walk across the border with it. The illegal invasion going on at our, well, we don't have a southern border right now, but what used to be our southern border, which is completely fallen, is also the largest drug importation ever in the history of the United States. Okay? Much bigger than the 70s and 80s. And it's being organized, this illegal immigration, by China. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. I've talked about this many times, but I think it's an important point, so I'm going to repeat it before I move on to other topics today. Because I was listening to the top of the hour news about Biden and everything he was saying, it just ticked me off a little bit. The mass movement of people from a very far south in South America, all the way through Latin America, going through South America, Central America, Mexico, into the United States, is a massive migration of people. Do you understand what has to be done to maintain a movement like that? You know, there's this new movie coming out about Napoleon with Joaquin Phoenix. Looks pretty good. Ridley Scott did it. I'll watch it. And when Napoleon invaded Russia, like Hitler, they both had a similar problem. The supply chain. They couldn't keep up with the supply chain. Do you know what kind of supply chain operation there has to be to move so many millions of people from the southern parts of South America all the way through all of Latin America into America? That's a military operation. And I believe China is behind it. You see them when they cross the border. Do these people look dirty? Do they look hungry? Do they look dehydrated? No. I see a lot of people that are filming the path where the illegals travel. Is it filled with human waste? Is it filled with trash? No. In fact, I've seen many times along the way, they have these massive outdoor tents with tables where they eat and have water, and they've got porta potties and everything. That's China. to organize a supply chain that large, with not just that many people, but with food, water, and other supplies along the way, takes military type precision. And China, I've done this before, China's got this thing, they got a holiday, all the Chinese slave labor and like the Apple factories and stuff over there, they get to go home for this event once a year, this holiday. I never remember what the holiday is, it's not important. But every year when China lets their slaves go home for this holiday, a new record is broken. The largest migration of humans in the history of the planet take place every year when this holiday happens. And it happens twice because they go home and then they got to come back to the slave factory. And China has been doing this for decades. And they have their experts in Latin America, like advisors, like we have in Ukraine with the Ukrainian army. The Chinese are behind the entire supply chain and migration of these people into our border. So they're organizing a land invasion, and they're bringing deadly fentanyl along with them, and a crime wave of other types too. Is any of that going to be discussed by Biden? Hell no. Biden wants his damn check. I want my money. Where's my money? Get the director on the phone. Remember that from the laptop? Hunter needs a new diamond. Whew. Are you kidding? I mean, that's what this is all about. And you know what? Everyone knows it. And here is a very sad reality. When you look at how they cleaned up San Francisco, and Gavin Newsom says, well, when you have guests coming over, you clean up the house, right? No. When mom and dad are coming over, you clean up the house. And this is their daddy, their sugar daddy. And China, this is, and I don't say this lightly, and this is a terrible thought, but it's the truth. The United States has fallen to China. With Biden in the White House, the United States has fallen to China. The reason this summit is happening in California is because China controls the California Democrat Party. They have a spy operation over there. We found out about two of them, Fang and Feinstein's driver, okay? Swalwell and Feinstein. You think those are the only two? Of course not. The Chinese have a large population in China. They blend in with the large Japanese population, and of course it's on our western coast. And they have a massive spy network, not just in this country, but throughout California. That's why it's out there. This country has fallen to China. We're controlled by China. Our politicians are working for China. Our leaders do what China wants them to do. And you know what? They don't even question it. All they want is more money. All right? And that's it. China, for the Holocaust that they're responsible for around the world, should be put out of business. They got that First Nation status. They get all these breaks. And this also pains me to say, because I'm a fan of the great Richard Nixon. Always have been. But he's the one that opened up China. So what we're dealing with China today is a direct result of Henry Kissinger and Richard Nixon. So, I don't know what game they were playing back then, but I know what game's being played right now. And we are a client state of China under Democrat leadership. And Joe Biden is a puppet leader of the United States who does what China wants him to do. It's an embarrassment. It's disgusting. I'm not watching any of it because it's too painful to watch. All right, we'll take our first break of this hour. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I'd like to hear your thoughts on all these things. Brought up quite a bit today so far. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
Cheryl, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated, Cheryl. By the way, don't forget, order your Mighty Maga Lion for Christmas. I got a big shipment going out today from orders that came in while I was out of town. And if you order during the show today, your lion will go out with today's shipment. There's a link pinned to the chat, mightymagalion.com. There's a link in the video description, or you can go directly to the website, mightymagalion.com. mightymagalion.com. If you order more than one, you get a discount, okay? And I know he's cute, isn't he? This is the line I took to California and took to Trump Star, and also, of course, I've taken to Mar-a-Lago. mightymagalion.com. Order yours for Christmas. Let's see. All right. Where are we going now? Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, there's over 1,200 in the live stream right now. So, yeah, I know. So, make sure you like the video. Guys, when you like the video, that helps spread the word about my channel a lot. Okay, so please like the video.
Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM. Hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM. Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM. And anywhere in the world at True FLA.
All right, welcome back, one and all. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. I just heard the promo, so we've got Christmas music every day at noon, oldies Christmas music, sponsored by Joe Thomas, and I'm glad I heard the promo for that. And we've got great oldies Christmas music. You know, there are these other radio stations that play Christmas music. They basically play two songs, it seems to me, on continuous loop. And I hate them both. The one is that Mariah Carey song, and then the other one is Bruce Springsteen, who I don't think Bruce Springsteen can even sing. He sounds like he's constipated when he sings, and he's one of the most overrated people in the history of music. But I was listening to the songs that we're playing at noon right here on all of our radio stations, and those are great classics. That's like the Great American Songbook of Christmas music, sponsored by Joe Thomas. And, you know, Joe Thomas was in studio last week, and, you know, he's got two great offers. He's offering free phone consultations. No matter where you're located, by the way, call for this free phone consultation with financial advisor Joe Thomas. If you are retired or planning on retiring at any point in your life, even if it's coming up soon, call Joe Thomas. He can help you. And he's going to help you in your retirement make money, stop losing money, and, yeah, I know, guaranteed income. That's a definite thing you want to do. And stop losing money as well as protecting your money. It's really amazing. He's also offering free copies of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All. And, you know, the subtitle is The rich get richer because they know things other people don't know. That's right, and you'll find out those things with Joe Thomas. When you want to learn how to have a good financially secure retirement or how to make money, you want to talk to successful people because they know how to do it. So I'm going to give you Joe Thomas's number. You can call for the free book or to schedule your free financial consultation with financial advisor Joe Thomas. But if you miss this number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. All right, you can find the number there. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. Once again, that's 561-743-0999. Or if you missed that number, just go to jupiterjoe.com. All right, jupiterjoe.com. Okay, so let's get back to what's been going on. Kevin McCarthy, we're so blessed that Matt Gaetz got rid of this guy. Do you know he physically attacked and sucker punched a member of Congress yesterday who was part of the Gaetz group to get rid of him? He sucker punched him. Did you hear about this? It's crazy. And there's been some updates since this happened yesterday. The congressman what he did is he sucker punched him, Republican Congressman Tim Burchett, who again was one of the Gaetz group who got rid of Kevin McCarthy. And he elbowed him in the kidneys. Kevin McCarthy should be in jail right now. He assaulted someone. And you elbow someone in the kidneys, it hurts. You ever been hit in the kidneys? I have. It hurts. You can kill someone hitting them in the kidneys. Isn't kidneys off limits in boxing? I think it is, isn't it? Yeah. Why do you think kidneys are off limits in boxing? It's one of the most vulnerable areas of the human body. Kevin McCarthy, if you went out on the street today and elbowed someone in the kidneys, you would be arrested. You would be in jail for assault and battery. And you know what? You should be. It's dangerous. It's crime. Kevin McCarthy didn't just assault someone. He assaulted a sitting United States congressman. And just because you are a congressman doesn't mean you can go around assaulting others. He assaulted a federal official, which is a major felony at the federal level. So he committed a federal felony, a federal crime, by elbowing Tim Burchett, United States Congressman, in the kidneys. And he did, and you know, when he did it during an interview. The guy was being interviewed by a reporter from National Public Radio. So we haven't seen any video of the attack, but we do have some audio. So the congressman that was attacked gave an interview with CNN and describes the attack on him by Kevin McCarthy. Let me play that first, and then we got two updates on this that have happened since. He tells the whole story. Listen. Oh, hold on. Let me cue everything up here. Here we go.
They've made it all about Trump.
Okay, hold on a second here. That is him. Hold on, that's the wrong one. Hold on, let me see here. It's this one, I think. Okay.
Explain to us what happened with you and Kevin McCarthy.
Well, I was doing an interview with Claudia from NPR, a lovely lady, and when she was asking me a question, and at that time I got elbowed in the back, and it kind of caught me off guard because it was a clean shot to the kidneys, and I turned back, and there was Kevin, and I for a minute I was kind of, what the heck just happened, and then I chased after him. Of course, he's as I've stated many times, he's a bully with $17 million and a security detail. You know, he's the type of guy that when you're a kid would throw a rock over the fence and run home and hide behind his mama's skirt. And he just, you know, he from behind, that kind of stuff. You know, that's not the way we handle things in East Tennessee. If we have a problem with somebody, I'm gonna look them in the eye and talk to them.
Okay, so he walked down the hallway, hit you in with his elbow.
Yeah, you can go on Claudia's Twitter account. It pretty much, her X account. It's very active.
But, okay, so then just explain. So you chased him? What do you mean you chased him?
I just ran after him. I was like, what the heck? You know, why'd you do that? You know, because it was like I said, if you've ever been hit in the kidneys, it's a little different. You don't have to hit very hard to cause a little bit of pain, a lot of pain. And so and he just, of course, as he always does, he just denies it or blame somebody else or something, you know, and it was just a little heated, but I just backed off because I saw no reason. I wasn't gaining anything from it. And everybody saw it, so it didn't really matter.
But he responded to you?
Yeah, he just acted like, you know, what are you talking about? You know, who are you to, you know, that kind of thing. And it's just, you know, I think that's symptomatic of the problems that he's had in his short tenure as speaker.
And were you face to face when you had this interaction?
Yeah, but there's security detail, and I get it. They were doing their job, so it wasn't exactly like he wouldn't turn around and face me. He kept scurrying, trying to keep people between me and him.
Okay, so I don't know why Kevin McCarthy still has this security detail. He's not speaker anymore, but he thinks he is. Now, let me ask you, should Kevin McCarthy be arrested for this? I think he should. Audio of the attack has been made available to me, and after the bottom of the hour break, I'm going to play it for you. Now, who was the congressman that pulled the fire alarm? Was it Jamal Bowman? Who committed a greater offense to you? The congressman that pulled the fire alarm a few weeks ago, or Kevin McCarthy, who physically assaulted and sucker punched another member of the House of Representatives by elbowing him in the kidneys and then hiding behind a security detail? I think Kevin McCarthy committed the greater offense, and the other guy had to surrender himself. Got arrested, facing charges. Now, when we get back, I'll give you the updates, because there's two updates. One of them is the audio of the actual assault. I'll share all that with you after the break. But should Kevin McCarthy be arrested? Should Kevin McCarthy be charged with assault on a federal official? Should Kevin McCarthy go to jail? 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Great again.
I think you're going to really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s.
What do you guys think? Yes or no? Should Kevin McCarthy be arrested? Yes or no? Should Kevin McCarthy be arrested? No, elbowing someone in the kidneys is assault and battery, and you do it to a sitting United States congressman, that you're assaulting a federal official. You can go to prison for that. That's what happened to Rand Paul. He got beaten more severely. But no, that's not snarky. That is assault. Mike Johnson's got some explaining to do. Don't be so sure. They arrested the guy for the fire alarm, and everybody said that wouldn't happen. Assault on a federal official is a serious crime. Very serious crime. I would press charges. Hell yeah, I'd press charges. No doubt about it, I'd press charges. Mm-hmm. Now, guys, make sure you like the video. Only about, actually, less than half of you have liked the video. Guys, liking the video does me a great favor. It helps spread the word about my channel, so please like the video. You can't. I mean, it really shows you how angry he is at MAGA people for tossing him out of the speakership. I wouldn't be surprised if video comes out. We haven't seen any yet. I'm unclear exactly where it happened. Well, we'll let the court figure that out. Elbowing someone in the kidneys is a pretty severe thing. Of course he would defend it, that he didn't mean to, but that doesn't, no. He is a terrible, nasty person. He should be censured. He should be censured. Maybe should Kevin McCarthy be removed? You know, you can kill somebody hitting them in the kidneys like that. Oh, yeah. Believe me, if it was reversed, Kevin McCarthy would press charges. Guy would be arrested, tossed out of Congress, censured, and everything else. Well, every criminal says it was an accident. I don't expect a confession.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day, the buy one get one free.
Why does he have this detail? He's not speaker anymore. We talked about that in the beginning, Gia. Where are we? There we are. All right. All right, welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot. I'm Brian, and this is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. So Kevin McCarthy assaulted a sitting member of Congress yesterday. He sucker punched him, elbowed him in the kidneys, which is very dangerous. You know, you can kill someone elbowing them in the kidneys. You can do damage that the person doesn't know has been done for days or even weeks. It's one of the most vulnerable areas of the body, and that's why Kevin McCarthy did it there. So we have not yet seen video of the incident, but the congressman was giving an interview, and there's a recording of it. Now, let me just play his description of what happened again for people that are just tuning in, then I'll play you the new audio. All right?
What happened with you and Kevin McCarthy?
Well, I was doing an interview with Claudia from NPR, a lovely lady, and when she was asking me a question, and at that time I got elbowed in the back, and it kind of caught me off guard because it was a clean shot to the kidneys, and I turned back, and there was Kevin, and I for a minute I was kind of, what the heck just happened, and then I chased after him. Of course, he's as I've stated many times, he's a bully with $17 million and a security detail. You know, he's the type of guy that when you're a kid would throw a rock over the fence and run home and hide behind his mama's skirt. And he just, you know, he from behind, that kind of stuff. It's not the way we handle things in East Tennessee. If we have a problem with somebody, I'm going to look them in the eye and talk to them.
Okay, so he walked down the hallway, hit you with his elbow.
Yeah, you can go on Claudia's Twitter account. It pretty much, or X account. It's very accurate.
Okay, so then just explain. So you chased him? What do you mean you chased him?
I just ran after him. I was like, what the heck? Why'd you do that? Because it was like I said, if you've ever been hit in the kidneys, it's a little different. You don't have to hit very hard to cause a little bit of pain, a lot of pain, and so and he just, of course, as he always does, he just denies it or blames somebody else or something, and it was just a little heated, but I just backed off because I saw no reason. I wasn't gaining anything from it, and everybody saw it, so it didn't really matter.
But he responded to you?
Yeah, he just acted like, what are you talking about? Who are you to, that kind of thing. And it's just, I think that's symptomatic of the problems that he's had in his short tenure as speaker.
And were you face to face when you had this interaction?
Yeah, but there's security detail, and I get it. They were doing their job, so it wasn't exactly like he wouldn't turn around and face me. He kept scurrying, trying to keep people between me and him.
Okay, so McCarthy was hiding behind his security detail after this happened, which is an indication that he is guilty. Now, of course, he's denying it. Now, there are some updates on this. One, Matt Gaetz has filed an ethics complaint against Kevin McCarthy. And I really think Mike Johnson needs to be called out on this. There's got to be video on this. We're unclear at this point where this exactly happened in Congress, but they have cameras everywhere, as we saw with the little bit of J6 footage we've seen. This is very likely on camera. And this is something that rises to the level of being removed from Congress. This is beyond censuring. He physically assaulted a sitting member of the United States House of Representatives, Kevin McCarthy. I told you guys this is the Judas of Mar-a-Lago, that he's fake MAGA. So there's some audio. Now, again, the audio is not the most clear, but I've cleaned it up and made it as loud as I can without distortion. This is audio because the congressman that was attacked by Kevin McCarthy was given an interview. There's audio of this. So he's doing an interview. He gets hit by Kevin McCarthy, and then he goes after Kevin McCarthy. This is the audio that has just been released.
Friends, how it went. It sounds like it went back and forth.
Yeah, I think it went all right. Sorry, Kevin. Didn't mean to elbow. Why'd you elbow me in the back, Kevin?
Wow, and he says it loud. Why'd you elbow me in the back, Kevin?
Sorry, Kevin. Didn't mean to elbow. Why'd you elbow me in the back, Kevin? Hey, Kevin. You got any guts? Jerk. No.
Now he goes after him.
And you got no guts. You did so. They sit there and the reporter said it right there. What kind of chicken move is that? You're pathetic, man. You are so pathetic. What a jerk. You need security, Kevin. Anyway.
Okay. So that what that video shows, or that audio shows, I hope there's video of this. I hope there is video of this. But what do we have? We have an eyewitness, this reporter from public radio, and she got a good look at it because she's facing the congressman that got hit. So she was, looking towards the direction where it happened. So we've got a victim and an eyewitness of an assault on a United States congressman. Without question, this rises to a greater level than pulling the fire alarm, which also is a felony. These are all felonies. This is what we're dealing with, okay? And if you think they're done scheming and are accepting Trump, and I'll tell you, this ridiculous comment I played in the last hour of Nikki Haley. If you notice, Nikki Haley is doing a series of interviews now talking about a variety of topics. She's the it girl right now. The other it girl used to be DeSantis, and they're done with him. They've tossed him aside. I don't know how he's still in this. He's still in it somehow. Guess he's been transferring all the monies from his gubernatorial campaign. I don't know how he's qualifying for the next debate. But he's expected to be there. But they're all behind Nikki Haley now. And there's strong indication that Tim Scott is going to endorse her. It hasn't been decided yet, but it looks like they're working on it. And this is their scheme. This is their scheme, all right? Their scheme is they know that Nikki Haley cannot beat Trump in Iowa or New Hampshire. But third is South Carolina. She was twice elected governor. And Tim Scott is one of the two sitting senators. So if she comes in second or even third in Iowa and New Hampshire, and what's going to happen is this, and this is why DeSantis is staying in it. DeSantis assumes he's going to come in second, which he might, but there could be a surprise upset with Nikki Haley in the mix. When these primary votes happen, the actual results are going to be different than what we're seeing in the polls probably. So Nikki Haley's at 7 in Iowa. Trump is at 62. Maybe Trump gets, the majority, but Nikki Haley gets 27 or 18 or whatever she gets, 12. The chances are, if she comes in second or third, she's going to outperform the polling projections. And Donald Trump is a good chance, even though he'll win with the majority in Iowa and New Hampshire, he won't have as big of a spread as he has during the polls. That's what their hope is. So they've got Iowa and New Hampshire. Trump's going to win. the story will be that Nikki Haley performed much better than poll expectations, even though she came in second or third. And the number 3 is South Carolina. She was twice elected governor of South Carolina. They're trying to get Tim Scott to endorse her, which would be the end of his political career if he does that. But he owes her since... I'd forgotten about this until Mike from Boca called in and reminded me yesterday. I'd totally forgotten about this. When she was governor, they had an open Senate seat, and she appointed Tim Scott to that seat for his first term. He was not elected. He was appointed by Nikki Haley. So not only does he owe her, he's got some kind of relationship with her to get that appointment. She just didn't give that Senate seat just to some guy. They have some type of connection. What that is, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. So they figure if they go to South Carolina, and since she was twice elected governor, he's the one of the 2 sitting senators, and he endorses her and campaigns with her. Maybe they'll even tease running together, because I don't know where her residency is now. Her official residency may not be South Carolina. Where's the military-industrial complex company she works for located? That might be her residence. Or she'll get one somewhere else. But regardless, they figure with her and Tim Scott's endorsement in South Carolina, she's sure to come in second, and it could be a close second, and they think maybe she could weasel a victory out of that. Maybe, but the second will be a close second because it's South Carolina. And they have plans for the convention to go brokered. Okay? This, President Trump violated the gag order, not just from that kook judge in New York, but he's violating the gag order repeatedly, actually. He's violated the gag order for the crooked judge in the D.C. case, which is the January 6th case, with the judge appointed by Obama that was Hunter's boss at the law firm. And all of the legal experts I've heard say that in a civil case, that judge in New York is a little limited on the punishments, but in the federal case in D.C. with the corrupt Obama judge, that she can be more heavy-handed when it comes to dealing with him violating the gag order. So what their scheme, I'm not saying this is going to be successful, but what their scheme is they think there's going to be some charges still against Trump where they'll get some convictions. They're not sure what, but they're going to try to plug in Nikki Haley at the convention now. That's their current scheme. These uniparty Republicans are always running a racket. They never just give up and say, okay, Trump's at 62, we're done. They're always running a scheme. And that's their latest scheme. It's Nikki Haley, and it's South Carolina is where they look to complete it. See, they knew DeSantis, the Florida primary is not till like the summer next year. And they know DeSantis would lose that. But they think Nikki Haley is their new savior. That's why you see her on TV so much, commenting on every possible issue. Now, we're going to take our last break of the second hour. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm Brian. And don't forget, there's only a couple weeks left. Less than a month left of Medicare open enrollment. This is the only time of year you can make changes to your Medicare policy. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. No matter where you are in Florida, she can help. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. All right? Her family have been with us since 1994 on the Steve Kane Show. Give her a call. She can help. We'll be right back.
Hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We are so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health food store in 1972, and ever since have been one of the largest...
Steve, can you hear me? You there, Steve? I can hear him, but he can't hear me. He's got his headphones off.
We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Denson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PGA Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at
It's countless other American innovations throughout the years. Bring the whole family or host your next event with us. For information and tickets, visit dowercars.com.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I have broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be done for it lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now, the Steve Kane Show is on.
All right. We are back 47 minutes after the hour. It is Wednesday. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good. Bounds today, the question of that.
Yeah.
I have one question about your theory.
Which one?
Well, the one you've been talking about.
Oh, with Nikki Haley?
Yeah. The only thing that doesn't fit in is the big story of the day, which I don't know if you mentioned it earlier or not, but the new Speaker of the House, who is without any question, I think, the most influential person at this point, the new Speaker of the House has endorsed the Donald Trump.
Yes. Yeah.
A huge endorsement.
Yeah.
Carry weight. He should be the most influential person in the House at this moment, wouldn't you think?
I think they're so divided. I mean, we got Kevin McCarthy beating up other congressmen yesterday. I don't know. No, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yeah, but
you know,
but I
can't use his weight to get his way. We're in big trouble.
Well, I don't know how he gets his. I mean, what do you mean? I mean, I don't know. Nah, I think it's very divided. It's the Republicans are very divided. It's almost 50-50 right now in the House.
They seem to be treating the new guy with kid gloves.
Because he's popular, they're not coming out against him.
He's the new guy.
Yeah, but no, I don't know if any speaker, speakers of the House, we've had some that are more well known and popular than him, like Newt, and I don't know how important. People hate Congress so much. I don't know how important endorsements are. Do you mean his endorsements important for Trump so far as getting other members of Congress behind Trump?
Absolutely.
Now that's true. That's true. Maybe he could get more of them to be vocal about Trump. Yeah, that would be good.
I mean, he would look really bad if the guy he's endorsing is rejected by the House.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That can only help. It can't hurt. I don't know if it's a big deal, but it can help. Yeah.
Watch.
Yeah, but I tell you though, Steve, Nikki Haley, anytime there's a story in the news about someone jaywalking, they go to Nikki Haley to get her analysis on it. So there's a big. They remember they were doing this before with Ramaswamy. Before that, DeSantis. So the one of the big Republican donors said yesterday, and these are the guys that are the anti-Trump ones, but one of the big Republican donors said Nikki Haley is the only person who can save the economy. I don't know what does she know about the economy? All she's done is work for the government her whole life, as far as I know. Has she ever had a job? A real job? I mean, what does she know about the economy? She's like a welfare person. She gets all her money, except when she's sold out to the military-industrial complex. But they're really pushing Nikki Haley, which tells me that they're not done with their scheming. The scheming will continue.
Just see how it plays out, but
I don't know how much the speaker can help. I mean, I don't like that he went. Why are they so No, what am I going to stay up for? To watch them approve the budget? What's the point of staying up for that?
I was staying up for the invasion, for the attack, I was watching what was going on. It was fascinating. Of course, it went in, but it was.
No, I stayed up for nothing. I have to be on the air, Steve, at 6 a.m. I have to get up at 2, but I can see everything that happened when I wake up in the morning. So I don't need to stay up late for it. But no, Mike Johnson, I don't like that he approved this budget, this continuing resolution. I don't understand why they're so afraid of the government shutting down. Shut it down. It doesn't stop anything. I don't understand. And he seemed to cave on that pretty quick. And I was very disturbed yesterday because I heard Chuck Schumer praising him and his great wisdom and all of this with his cooperation and everything. And when we've got a Republican being praised by Schumer, that makes me concerned. And I don't really care for that. And I would very much like to see Mike Johnson stand up and at least censure Kevin McCarthy for this physical attack on this Republican congressman yesterday. Kevin McCarthy should be arrested.
Inter-party squabbling.
Kevin McCarthy sucker punched a Republican in the kidneys. You can someone doing that. And Kevin McCarthy needs to be punished for that, going around with it. And why does Kevin McCarthy still have a security detail while he's walking around Congress beating up other congressmen? He's not speaker anymore. The Kevin McCarthy wing of the House Republicans are not done. I personally believe, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but they're working on things. I think Kevin McCarthy believes that he's going to be speaker again, that they're going to get rid of Mike Johnson.
I'm getting a little sick of Kevin McCarthy at this point. This new guy, you like the new guy. You said you liked him.
I did, but I don't like what he's doing in the last couple days. He's letting McCarthy sucker punch congressmen. He's got Chuck Schumer praising him. He's cooperating with Schumer. He passed their budget that has all their thievery in it. I don't like that at all. No, I don't think that's good. He should have held that budget over their heads and got some things done. He could have gotten some concessions and gotten some things done, and he seemed to me to have caved. I haven't heard anything about any deals that he got. Have you? In exchange for it? So I don't know how much I like him right now. I like that he's not Kevin McCarthy. He's MAGA. He loves Trump. He endorsed Trump. But the actions he's taken as speaker, it's like a Democrat.
You don't think that part of the decision-making process involved him checking with Trump?
Not necessarily. No, I don't think so. But why would he? What did he get out of passing this budget, and why? I'm not going to get excited just because we got a MAGA guy who endorsed Trump in the speakership if they're caving the Democrats on the first thing. And I haven't seen him do anything. Now, if he came out today and did two things, went through a list of concessions he got from the Democrats of things that Republicans have wanted, and I don't have a list of things I want to accomplish, but I'd like him to have gotten something for it. Okay, that would make me excited. If he came out because he'll have a press conference today. They do it pretty much every day. So if he comes out today with a list of victories that he got for the passing the budget that Schumer's praising him for, I'll be like, okay, that was good. And at the same time, talk about at least censuring Kevin McCarthy for physically attacking a member of Congress. And obviously, I love this guy, but I haven't seen him do anything yet other than get Charles Schumer to praise what a good job he's doing. And if Schumer's praising the guy, Steve, you got to be watching out for him. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's
Play out today. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it'll play out, but we're here now, and I can only talk about what's happened so far. You know what I? So and so far, I've only seen him cave to the Democrats, and I'm not happy with that. No, I'm not, and I don't think anyone should. And Matt Gaetz. He calls him MAGA Mike Johnson. Let's see what he got.
I'd also like to, sometime later in the hour, I'd like to get into what our great president did yesterday in turning his back on the Jews.
What? When you said our president, I thought you meant Trump. You mean Biden.
No.
Oh, okay. When you say our president, I thought you meant Trump. And then you said turning back on the Jews. It caught me off guard. You meant Joe Biden.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's sickening.
Well, yeah. He just gave, Biden just gave another, was it $10 billion to Iran? That's so in doing so, he just funded the entire Palestinian Hamas war machine against the Jews. We're paying for it.
And also funded Mr. Biden.
Yeah, exactly. Now, listen, guys, it is Christmas shopping season. There's no better place to do your Christmas shopping than MyPillow.com. And with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, there are huge savings. In fact, you can save up to 80% on top items at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane. Now, you can take advantage of all the specials there, not just the ones I highlight. I highlight the ones that I think are the best products, the must-haves, my personal favorites, and the best deals. But you may have different needs and wants. And like for example, they have neck pillows. Oh man, I'm going to get that MyPillow neck pillow for the next time I travel to see my daughter in California. I had another neck pillow. It was awful. And my daughter has a MyPillow neck pillow. I tried that. It was the most perfect neck pillow. There's a huge discount on those with our promo code Kane. But I want to talk about the MyPillow mattress topper 2.0, which I slept on at my daughter's house over the weekend on her sleeper sofa. We got it for her guest bed. The MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 is a major upgrade on the previous mattress topper. It's a 3-inch mattress topper. It'll turn your entire bed into a big MyPillow. It's like sleeping on a cloud. But the 2.0, what that's about is it has that temperature regulating technology in it, just like the MyPillow 2.0s. And I've slept on it here in Florida with our warm weather, but in California it was cold. It was like 51 degrees. And it was the first time I had slept on the MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 with temperature regulating technology in cold weather. Steve, I just had like a tiny little blanket and my body was perfectly warm because that mattress topper perfectly regulates your body temperature. It makes a great gift. You can get it for yourself for your own bed. It'll change your life. You've never slept like you've slept with a MyPillow mattress topper. Get it for your guest bed, for the guest, or just give it as a Christmas gift. It comes in a perfect box for wrapping. And the MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 with temperature regulating technology in the material is 50% off, 50% off with our promo code Kane at checkout at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone toll free 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. That's 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour. Steve's here today. We got your studio all fixed yesterday. That was nice. Thanks to Don, our engineer here, one of our engineers at the radio station, who's got the best radio voice I've ever heard. Don the engineer, he got it all fixed. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. We'll come back. There's a lot more to discuss. We'll take your calls as well. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by TheQuartering Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the oldies forecast.
Good day, everybody. Our highs are only going to be up to about 80 at best today. It's going to be blustery, windy, and quite rainy with heavy downpours and pockets you can see 6 to 10 inches under a flood watch throughout all of South Florida. I'm WPPF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio stores in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Major expressways in the Palm Beaches are still crash-free, but some slowdowns right now on the north and southbound side of I-95 in the Lake Worth area. Also, usual traffic buildups on 95 in the northbound from Deerfield Beach into Boca. We still have a crash in Boca Raton on Southwest 18th Street right near Power Line Road. A vehicle fire on Haverhill Road right near Lantana Road. And a 595 eastbound after 441. A crash is not cleared from the center lane and pushed over to the left shoulder. This report is sponsored by Discover. Did you know Discover was a real special? That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 customer service as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply. Let's drop it, Chris Paul.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. It's showtime at PBKC. Get your tickets now for upcoming events in the Paddock Restaurant, the area's incredible dinner show destination. Enjoy a fabulous three-course dinner and acts like Let It Be, the ultimate tribute to the Beatles on November 17th, and Chris McDonald's Merry Christmas Baby event December 15th. And check out December comedians Andrew Dice Clay for 2 shows, Jackie Marlene and Jimmy Fallon. For tickets, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Sloman's home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation is free. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and even you get a doorbell camera. Call now, 833-283-5050, and Sloman's will give you a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your smartphone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. And wait a minute, that's not all. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, 10 contacts, backup battery, and service plan. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME and you'll get a free doorbell camera with installation of your Sloman Shield. Sloman's Home Security, the ultimate in home security. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050.
Shield your home, the Sloman's Shield.
Hi, it's Brian Craig. Let me ask you this. Are you planning on retiring in the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, at any point in your life? Or are you already retired? Listen, economically, it's a mess with the stock market ups and downs and inflation out of control. In fact, it's the highest inflation rate in 40 years. You need a plan of action for your retirement plans. You need the advice of a retirement expert who can help you protect your money, guarantee your income, and stop losing money. Joe Thomas is president of Retirement Network Advisors, South Florida's premier retirement experts, and has been for over 20 years. He's seen it all and is a true professional that you can trust. They're family owned and operated. His daughter Jenny works with him. You know Joe and Jenny from right here on True Oldies. He's the host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show, and he's been doing that for over a decade. You need Jupiter Joe's book, The Retirement Know-It-All. Mention my name, Brian Craig, and receive a free copy of his ebook. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. Take advantage of his free phone consultation, too. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update.
I'm Tom Rivers. President Biden is in San Francisco this morning. He's attending the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. He'll meet with China's Xi. At a fundraiser last night, he warned against another Trump presidency.
President Biden reminding his donors that Donald Trump was one of only 2 presidents who lost jobs while in office, and it's why Mr. Biden now calls him Donald over Trump. Mr. Biden more
All right, we are back 6 minutes after the hour. Steve Kane here. I'm Brian. You know, and I meant to mention this to you before the top, and I'd forgotten. You know, you're talking about Mike Johnson. He promised to release the January 6 tapes, all of them. And how long has he been speaker now? 2 weeks, however long? Where are those? So, well, you know, that's important.
Well, I think he may have other stuff to do with his first.
There's nothing to do. He just says to the tape guy, release him. Yeah, that's why I want him arrested, Steve. Kevin McCarthy for no. I'm just saying that we got to put some pressure on Mike Johnson to do what he said. Releasing the January 6 tapes are no effort on him. He just has to sign a piece of paper and say, do it. And he has not done that. When?
Let's see what the audience thinks.
Well, let me give the number out. People don't seem too interested in Mike Johnson, and I can understand why. Because he's been disappointing so far. It's only been a short time, but, you know, we expect results. You know, President Trump, Steve, has raised the bar for the expectation that people have for our public officials like never before. We expect results. Yeah, we all do. We all endorse him, but he's got 2 weeks there. What have we seen? Mike Johnson? I support Mike Johnson. You support Mike Johnson.
But Kevin doesn't.
Oh, no. But he's not one of us. He's one of them. And I'm just telling you that since he's been speaker, he has not done any of the things he's promised. Well, no one's called in about Mike Johnson. I'll tell you that. I don't think anyone's interested in Mike. I'll give out the number at 1-888-GO-CANE-1 if anyone has interest in Mike Johnson or thoughts on his disappointing first week or two as speaker, where he has done nothing but get Schumer to praise him for his great work. Now, I want to tell you, though, about this disgusting, they're calling it, this meeting with Biden in China, they're calling that a summit. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I mean, it's
so outrageous. I can't believe it. He walks out of the support
yeah.
for the Jew.
Yeah.
Just turns his back on it.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what, though? I bet when he walks out of this summit meeting with China, he'll be even richer than when he walked in, Joe Biden.
He'll have his suitcase full of cash.
Or another diamond for Hunter. Exactly. But Biden, did you see what the big, he got a big concession from China. Did you see what the big agreement he came to? Listen to this. This is insane. And they're actually promoting this as if Biden's done something. Biden is set to strike a deal with China that would limit the use of artificial intelligence in nuclear weapons. That's right, yeah. Biden will agree with China to limit AI use in systems that control and deploy nuclear weapons, as well as any technology used in autonomous weapon systems. Exactly. Where's the part? This is what I want from China. We will no longer manufacture and export fentanyl from our country, which has killed tens of thousands of Americans. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear that we're not going to do AI, okay? So, this is just ridiculous. This is what I was talking about earlier, Steve. And this is a reality that, now we can sit here in denial all we want, okay? The United States is a client state of China. Our public officials that are running the country currently are owned, and some of them owned by China. Yeah, Biden, Mitch McConnell, a bunch of them. They're owned by China, either through blackmail and coercion, like with Swalwell and Fang Fang, or Feinstein had that Chinese spy with her for over 20 years, or they've been paid off, or both, because sometimes, they blackmail you, but they also give you some money. We are a client state of China. The United States has been conquered by China. And, if you listen to the Chinese experts, China has they keep saying China's economy is in shambles. I don't know about that. That China has been launching, which is probably the most brilliant, I don't want to call it a Cold War, because we've lost more Americans from China since Biden's been president than we lost Americans in the 10 years of the Vietnam War, okay, because of the fentanyl. All the fentanyl is coming from China, and it's done on purpose, okay? So this is not a Cold War. That people, I keep hearing these analysts say that China considers us to be in a Cold War situation. There are people dying every day from that Chinese fentanyl, okay? And if Biden came out today and had some big concession on that was actually followed up on and happened, no more manufacturing or exportation of fentanyl, then I would say, hey, okay, Biden did something. But no, but at least but he's not trying for anything like that. What he's doing is this is what's happening. This is what's happening. Biden's meeting with China to get paid. On the laptop from hell, we got the conversation, right, where Hunter was on the phone. I'm in the phone with the big guy, with Pops. Tell the director we expect the money or else. So that's what this is about. And these private meetings are him doing things to get paid. That's what it is. And this thing on, if anybody in the White House tries to pass this AI deal, as artificial intelligence deal, as some type of grand accomplishment, they really got a lot of nerve. It's the whole thing is an embarrassment, and it's hard for me to even watch this China trip because I don't want to really accept the fact that America has fallen and we are controlled by China. I mean, what we need from China is at least an apology for their violation of our country with the air balloons, an apology for the Chinese fentanyl that's killed tens of thousands of Americans. I've heard different numbers. I heard one this morning that was a little over 60,000. That's more than Vietnam. Okay, more than Vietnam. Why don't you think about that? And what do? They throw out the red carpet and clean up the city for them because they're sucking up to the boss, and their boss is China, because that's who pays all of them. And it's really sad. I feel like what these European countries must have felt in 1940 when they fell to Nazi Germany. That's how we are now. But what China did that was smarter is, as opposed to sending in armies and invading and attacking, they just buy off the politicians. That's it. And then they get their way. And what they get are lots of things. For example, they get to import all their stuff for nothing. They have all our manufacturing jobs. They make everything, and they ship it over here basically for nothing now because of Joe Biden. That's the payoff. That's the rub. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the second hour. Our number toll free, our third hour. Our number's toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Black Friday sale is back, and it's bigger than ever.
What topic in the news do you guys in the chat think Steve and I should move into in the next segment? Any ideas? I mean, I got some things we're going to move into, but... Can't do that. California for Trump. Welcome. Conservative Doug here. I mean, how many people have died from fentanyl poisoning from China since Biden's been in office?
With Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies LA.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here, and you know it's Wednesday already because we were off Monday, so we're already in the middle of the week. The weekend's coming, and if you're looking for something to do, you want to go and see the incredible classic cars at the Dower Museum of Classic Cars. You know, they have like over 55 cars, and what I was telling you yesterday, Steve, you know, when you go there, you're going to see classic cars like you've never seen before. It's a setup, quite honestly, like the Smithsonian Museum, because you remember I had this guy called in yesterday with his 50. Oh, now that's isn't that wonderful? Yeah, see. I found out why the phones have been slow this morning, Steve. Their internet phones, the internet's been out on them. So that's why they're not working. Hopefully they'll get back up and working. I wondered why the phones were slow. I do a test before I go on the air every morning before the show, but now I just got the notice are they rebooted now? Hopefully they are. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. You would ring, but I wouldn't see the ring. That's what's been going on. I've been getting DMs from people. I can't get through. Now I know why. But we'll find out if they're up and working. Let me know, Mike. Are they back? We don't know. Thumbs up? Thumbs down? No. Maybe? We don't know. Oh, my goodness. All right, let me get back, though, to the Dower Museum of Classic Cars. We had a guy called in yesterday that had like a 55 Chevy. And he was talking to me, the big difference at the Dower Museum of Classic Cars, where, by the way, they have cars as far back as the 30s. Okay, they're back up and running. Okay, guys. Through the 70s, and even some that are a little newer than the 70s, actually. But what's different, Steve, these cars are fully restored. They are showroom new. The cars at the Dower Museum of Classic Cars look like they did in the car showroom when they were brand new. Not a classic car that some guy drives around town all the time. And I've never experienced seeing classic cars that look showroom new inside and out. You know what I'm talking about? And that's the experience. You know, there's nothing like that new car smell, and that's what you get with these cars. They're beautiful. They're open Monday through Saturday until 3, and the Dower Museum of Classic Cars is located in Sunrise, just south of Commercial on Hiatus Road. I'm going to give you the number, and you can call them for directions or information. But for your holiday parties, your corporate events, a family affair, any type of event you're having, go have it at the Dower Museum of Classic Cars. Whatever the event is, whether it's your company Christmas party or your family get-together, it will be an event that everyone will remember for the rest of their lives because of this beautiful car collection. The number is 954-748-6271. 954-748-6271, and online, dowercars.com. That's D-A-U-E-R, dowercars.com. All right, since I think the phone, we'll do a test with this call. Okay, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Terry from Florida.
Hey, Florida, what's up?
Hey, Steve. Hey, I like what you were saying earlier when you were saying that you're a fan of Nixon.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah, and what Nixon a crook? So now.
Oh, slow down. What you asked him if he was a crook? No. Can you tell me what he did that made him a crook? Not you, Steve. You. Yeah, but tell me what he did that made him a crook.
But now you got.
No, hold on. You said. I know you know the answer, Steve. But But I want to see if this guy knows the. You said Nixon was a crook, and then you laughed. Can you tell me what Richard Nixon did that has you describe him as a crook? That's dead air, caller. Hello? Did you switch the phones back off, Mike, or was his brain that was switched off? I think it was his brain. Oh, Mike, I'm sorry to ask questions. I mean, if you say something, you got to be like O.J. Simpson. I saw him in the news yesterday, looking frail. He's not doing well. No, and he's a murderer, and I call him a murderer because he killed Ron and Nicole, and his blood, Ron's blood was in his Bronco. He had a pair of shoes. They were only like 50 to 80 pairs made. The shoe print was in the blood and everything. The cuts on him. They found the murder clothes in the washing machine. There are a lot of people that say Nixon was a crook, and you can make that case, but that guy's just got talking points. All right, so let me get back to things, though. But there was one other thing that Mike Johnson promised to do, Steve, that he has not done. In fact, he's commented on it and said the opposite. Where's the impeachment of Biden? And he said the other day, Mike Johnson, that there's no evidence to impeach him. So, I mean, Mike Johnson's being a bit of a disappointment. He promised the J6 tapes. Steve, he's been there for years. He should have this stuff ready to go. He said he was going to release the January 6 tapes. Now, that's an effortless task, right? That's an effortless task. Then he was going to impeach Biden. None of these things have happened. So, I'm not dropping Mike Johnson or my support of him, but we just got to, put some pressure on him to do instead of, he got the job. Okay, he's moved into the office, and let's start doing what you said you'd be doing. All right. Hello. You're on the air.
Oh, yes. Hi, this is Todd from Boynton Beach. I wanted to bring up China again. If it wasn't for COVID, not just the fentanyl, Trump would still be president.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you think Biden's real purpose of meeting with China is? I think it's just to get paid. He's checking in with the boss.
Exactly. That's all he cares about as far as his corruption with all these countries, and it's just
You know what I would give anything to see would be just the visual of when they walk in the room together for their private meeting. And I bet you he bows down to him. Do Chinese people bow like the Japanese? I bet you he bows down to him. Bet you. That's his sugar daddy. And and I don't say this with pleasure. It's a really sad statement that our great country has fallen to China. All right, I'm leaving callers speechless today, Steve. I don't know. I'm having this effect. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, you have hung up on me.
Oh, I didn't hang up. So did you do the Google search so you can tell us about Nixon, what he did that makes him a crook now?
No, what I'm saying is that when they take Trump's name off the ballot, you're going to cry about it, right?
They're not taking him off the ballots. He's won those cases.
No, when they take him off the ballot, you're going to cry about it, right?
There have been several cases already to take him off the ballot in various states because the primaries are coming up, and Donald Trump has won every one of them.
But when they take him off,
No, I'm not going to cry.
You will. That's your God. You're going to cry. But you know what? I love the fact that you love two crooks, Nixon and Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is it about these two guys that, because they're deceptive and deceitful, and a lot of other things.
Really? What did Nixon do that was deceitful, caller?
Man, Nixon did a lot of stuff.
Well, pick one of them.
Did all kind of.
He took a bribe? Nixon took a bribe? Tell me about that.
He was a crook.
He took a bribe? Who bribed him? No, Nixon said, I am not a crook. He said, I'm not a crook. I heard him say it. So what
Stuff you like.
well, pick one of Nixon's illegal things and tell us about it.
You already know.
No, I'm not the one calling people crooks. You are. This is, I remember the United Negro College Fund. In their commercial, they would say, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Support the United Negro College Fund. Your mind is just of a wasted mind who has nothing but meaningless talking points that you can't back one up on.
Man, Trump did so much stuff.
No, we were talking about Nixon. And I'm giving you softballs. I'm giving you such softballs, and you don't even know it.
Just like Nixon.
But you can't tell it. You can't tell us who bribed Nixon. Who bribed Richard Nixon?
Why are you focusing on Nixon?
Because you mentioned Nixon. Because you call. All right, take care. All right, I'm just saying goodbye. You're on the air. What's your name? See what happens when the phones are working? We get calls here. I wonder why the phones were slow, Mike. I was getting like, what's going on? I thought it was you, Steve. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Patty from New Jersey.
I'm better now that the phones are working.
Yeah.
It was like the Kaufman show. No calls. I'm like, jeez. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And try to straighten that out. But yeah, I mean, you can tell that these guys are just looking to set out their acid and say things that they can't back up. They hit you with, oh, he's a crook, a bunch of stuff. Well, give us some examples.
There's an answer to the question. It's just none of the people who are attacking
they don't know it.
Nixon know it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these are such softballs.
It did was suborn perjury.
Yeah, whatever. He tried. He gave some guys, Steve. He gave some guys some vacation money. That's all. Go take a vacation.
As far as Mike Johnson, I do know that Judicial Watch was really on Kevin McCarthy to get the tapes.
Yeah.
And there was another part of the conference that fought against it, and they took it to the court, and the court basically, the other people on the other side there, I think Kevin was in on it 100%, but they actually wound up getting the court involved, and basically because of it being, the Capitol Police tapes, there was some reason.
No, that's all BS. He's the he could release them and then deal with the legal stuff later. Listen, I like Mike Johnson. I support Mike Johnson, but he's a lifelong government worker, and they're a little slow sometimes. You gotta push them.
But I also know that he was kind of dropped in the middle of a mess, and with the way the government works, nothing happens really fast.
All he's got to do is sign a paper. There are so many requests in for those tapes. He's just got to sign a paper to authorize the release to all the requests by Judicial Watch and everyone else for the tapes. Yeah.
We need to just try to, just think about all that was dumped on his plate. So let's just give him a little bit of time and see what he does with it. And I do feel in my heart that he's going to do the right thing. But we have to know what he's fighting against. He is not near as powerful as President Trump.
That's true. That's true. All right, listen, we got it. We're late for the break, but thanks for the call. The rest of you on hold, stand by. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
The Wi-Fi has been iffy all day because
It's no problem. I don't care. It happens.
I texted Vic though because I was like something has to be up.
I don't think that's that's hardwire probably because my Wi-Fi's been working. It could be another Wi-Fi they're hooked up to.
With the internet, like right when you were bringing up about the phones, the computer internet went down, and so I had to wait. So that's why I was like, something's going on. And then the second the internet came back on, that's when I first saw the phone.
Yeah.
Back on. So
No, they're back now. I don't care. We can do the whole show without calls. I don't like to know. I just don't like that we can't take them. You know what I mean?
Like if you want it, you definitely would want
Yeah.
I let Vic know just in case, heads up to if he does catch something later as well.
Yeah.
Get it fixed for tomorrow as well, because I don't want it to.
Yeah.
I think it could be the wet. I don't know. It's weird.
It could be a million things. It's back now. Yeah. Oh, I support Mike Johnson too. I just want Mike Johnson to, do the things he said he would do. You know?
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the newly renovated poker room in PBKC, open daily for cash games, high-hand giveaways, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments like the Bar Poker Florida World Championships this week with big guaranteed events, live streaming, and more. You can also play your favorite casino table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker with $5.
No, the thing with that caller, it obviously, Nixon did a lot of things, okay? But when liberals, Democrats, they don't know squat. They have a bunch of meaningless talking point sentences that they don't know the meaning of. And they just repeat off these things, And that's embarrassing. It is. Oops. Yes, Sarah's going on the cruise with us. That'll be exciting. She went with us on, not the last cruise, but the cruise before. Did you sign up for the shore excursions, Sarah? I know you got a group of friends you're with. Make sure you call Ian and get signed up for those. I thought for sure he hung up. And I thought for sure when he came back, he would have done a Google search and read something off of Wikipedia and found one thing that Nixon did that was crooked. That's right. DVC EZ, you're exactly right. All right, we'll be back after this. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Do you want to go back to the phone, Steve? What do you want to do? Okay, and I also want to throw out, because I'm a supporter of Mike Johnson. I'm just telling you that we just got to, put his feet to the fire and just get him to do some of these things. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on him as well at 1-888-COCAINE-1. Oh, I'm excited. That's good. That's great. No, that's awesome. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mike from West Palm Beach.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, listen, right now, I'm going to change the topic for a moment.
Open phones is Friday, but we'll see.
We'll talk about Trump. Do you remember when gasoline was under $1 by any chance? I know you're pretty... I am, Steve. I am. When I first started driving, it was 87. I paid like 88 cents a gallon. Yeah. Right now, my daughter is paying $9.50 in Arizona, about 200 miles from the California border. $9.50 a gallon.
Yeah.
That is way over 1,000%. That's almost 1,000% increase. This is the guy pointed out to you, okay? A two-pound package of hamburger meat used to be $2.12.
Well, let's just slow down. Let's just slow down on the gas, because the gas is important. On Inauguration Day, I went to see President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. I filled up my car here in South Florida, and I took note of the gas price because we knew it was $1.57 a gallon. Okay, $1.57 a gallon, $2 or plus. On Inauguration Day, Biden's Inauguration Day, I filled up my car to see Trump at Mar-a-Lago on his last. I was one of the last people to see him when he was actually president during his first term, and it was $1.57. This meeting with China, this is what's going on. Everyone knows that China, this whole electric stuff is part of China's war on us. Okay, we have more oil than OPEC, the United States, and China does not have oil. So they want everybody off of oil because that's their weakness. So one of the things they've done is financed this entire green movement and bought off our politicians to push us into it, to get us off of gas, because they don't have any. And China, Teslas are very expensive. China has a whole bunch of electric vehicles that they're set to release in the United States. Steve, you can get a Chinese electric vehicle for less than $5,000 brand new, some of them. So they want to flood our market with these cheap electric vehicles. So the gas prices are high because China paid Biden to make them high. They want to wean us off into their electric crap.
Can I say something about Biden? And that would be, he's so incognitively impaired that he could have gotten those balloons down and he could have recovered the electronics on the surveillance of those.
Well, no, that's not, he didn't take, excuse me, that's not why, listen, he did not, that's not why he did not take down the balloons. He didn't take down the balloons. All right, thank you for your call. He didn't take down the balloons because China wouldn't let him. China wouldn't let him. Okay? That's why he didn't take down the balloons. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, gentlemen. It's Berta from Texas.
Hey, Berta.
I kind of like Joe. He's a Christian man.
We got a very bad connection, so I'm going to put you on hold and take another call. We'll come back because she's talking about Mike Johnson. I'll give her a chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, Mr. Militant. I don't know if you covered it so far, but I was just getting in on the news on some of Mark Dyson, whatever these other influencers put out, and Candace got fired, is what I heard.
I think that's the thumbnail on my YouTube video that you saw. Yeah. Completely, they've actually officially fired her. Let me I'll do that maybe, let me double check. Let me double check and find out if she has been officially fired. I predicted it first. Candace Owens, it's funny thing. I got up this morning and I did my show prep, as I do, 2 a.m, and I'm going through the news, and I saw what happened between Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro, and I made my YouTube thumbnail at about 3:30 in the morning. Candace Owens fired. Nobody had predicted this. No one was talking about it, and I talked about this exchange, and I was in the first hour of the show, I was talking about her being fired, And boom, yet again, I was ahead of everyone. Ahead of everyone. And you know where Ben Shapiro lives? Yeah, he lives in our listening area. So maybe Ben was listening this morning and pulled the thing. But yeah, so you heard it here first. I called it first. I predicted it first, and it was right here on the Steve Kane Show. We have how many times have we been ahead of everybody on everything on this program? I mean, I've lost track. I mean, I'm sorry to pat myself on the back, but someone's got to do it. No one else is doing it. All these other people are going to yet again take credit for what we've done here. That's amazing. Yeah, but this is the thing. I told you she was trying to get fired. She has a contract with Ben Shapiro's organization, the Daily Wire, and I think she wants out of the contract. And what she did to get out of it was do this anti-Semitic thing, and that's going to do a lot of damage for the rest of her life.
Right, she might have damaged her whole career because of it, but we'll see. Only time will tell.
Mm-hmm. All right, wow. It was a series of things, and I don't. It was a series of things. If you remember, last week I talked about. She said that Israel is a racist nation that segregates Muslims and does not allow Muslims to move freely or live where they want to live, like in the Deep South. She said that Ben Shapiro cares about money more than God, which is one of those old anti-Semitic things about Jews and their money, and some other things. She's really been pushing pretty hard. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Berta again. I apologize for that.
Oh, now you got a good connection. I told you we'd get you back on. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I wanted to say about Mike Johnson, I like them. I like them a lot better than McCarthy. I never liked McCarthy. Never did.
Yes.
He's a good Christian man. He's censoring the squad. He's running, now he's working on getting indictments out for the Biden family and more, he's giving more freedom to Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I think, and especially yesterday, the pro-Israel rally that they had, he was the actual first person who actually said that Israel should never cease fire. Someone in government.
No, listen, I agree with you. Mike Johnson is awesome, but it doesn't mean we don't need to keep his feet to the fire and supervise him a little bit.
Absolutely right. What you said, I don't like the fact that Schumer said that he's doing a great job.
But then again, Schumer's not stupid. He could praise Mike Johnson just to piss us off and make us angry at Mike Johnson. You understand that, right? He's a snake.
I know. I believe with you, but I believe that if you give, like, for some reason he had this position for a reason, Brian. And my heart is telling me I don't like the part with the Schumer, but I'm just trying to look at facts and action. To me, it's what actions cause. And I'm seeing him roll the ball. He's slowly doing it because I guess he's tiptoeing a little bit, but he's starting to get a little bit more nerve, and especially in his conferences. He's having guts to say.
Well, okay. We got a break, but I'll just say this in closing. When you take over a job like Speaker of the House, there's a huge organization around that to get things done, and the people that work, the underlings to the congressman, they're all political establishment hacks. So a lot of the staffers under the Speaker's office, because that's like the president being president, they are uniparty establishment people. And they can and the bureaucracy underneath the Speaker can slow down him getting things done. All right, I got to run Bert up, but I want to say that in his defense because I like the guy. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Hard Truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on Steve.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals report from his office in Boca. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking?
Metals looking pretty good. A big rally yesterday after that key reversal we put in, and then the markets continue to rally today, although they are settling back down right now. Yesterday we saw gold gain $16.90, closing at $1,962.70. Silver gained 76 cents, closing at $23.06 the ounce. Platinum was up $20 at $8.86, and palladium gained $33 at $1,001. Overnight, we saw gold trading in a range of low of $1,960 all the way up to $1,976 on good reports. And currently, right now, it's at $1,964. That's up $1.20. Silver trading up as high as $23.71 last night. Right now, it's at $23.35, up 29 cents. Platinum up $5 at $8.91, and palladium up $11 at $1,012.
Wow, things are looking good. You know, I wanted to ask you, over the weekend I was with my daughter. I've been trying to get my daughter into the metals for ages, and, you know, she's finally woken up to it. She was at all that, yeah, you know, and she was, but she's starting out in life. She's 24 years old, and I was talking to her about fractional gold, because, you know, you've got coins that are as small as a tenth of an ounce of gold, and when it comes to fractional gold, okay, what are the best coins to buy?
The fractional gold is the 1 10th-ounce gold eagles,
yep.
10th-ounce gold maple leafs, which are pure gold. The 10th-ounce Krugerrands are all really good and affordable for people just wanting to put a little bit of money into gold at any given time. Absolutely good value.
Does that go for the quarter ounce? Because, you know, fractional gold comes in 10th ounce, quarter ounce, and half ounce. So are those the same ones, the Krugerrands, the Eagles, the Maple? Those are the same ones you would go through in quarters and halves as well?
Yes, indeed.
All right, you guys hear that? Yeah, you know, you never have too little money to get involved in the metals. There's actually metals that can fit anyone's budget, and fractional gold is certainly a way to get in for the first time if you just have a little bit of money. William Youngerman is located in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, or give him a call, 1-800-327-5010. You know, and how I got her in, finally she woke up to the gold. I was telling her what gold was when we first met you, William Youngerman, $425 an ounce. And she says, what is it today? And I told her, and she said, holy smokes. You know, so she's like, I got to get in. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
Back after this.
Steve Kane Show is on.
Yes. All right, you want to go back to the phone, Steve? What do you want to do? All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
The name is Sandra. I'm calling from Delray Beach.
Hey, Sandra.
Hey, Sandra.
Hi there. I'm calling to say that I gained a lot of respect for Mike Johnson the other day on CNBC, which is the stock show.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain commentator, Andrew Sorkin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know who he is, yeah. He's a very big-time lib.
Right. And I knew what he was going to ask him, and sure enough, he did. He said, how come you end every session with a prayer to God? Isn't there supposed to be a separation of church and state? And Mike Johnson explained it, that the Founding Fathers did not mean that, and he explained what, but I didn't get the explanation. But I gained a lot of respect.
I'll tell you real quick, and this will sound familiar to you and everybody that's an American. The church had, when we were a British colony, you had to be a member of the Church of England because they have their own church. You didn't really have freedom to have your own church. So they did not want to have a Church of the United States, an official church of the country. That's all that means. There's no separation of church and state. That's a myth. That's a liberal urban legend that they've made up. It does not find it in the Constitution, and call me. There's no separation of church and state. That's just a lie. They've made it up. And when and another thing too about Mike Johnson and others, when they pray, when I pray to Jesus. Okay, I mean I'm a Christian, but they do a generic prayer to God, which covers everybody, doesn't it? That's at least, well, except atheists, but it covers Christians, Jews, and Muslims. I mean, it may not cover, rain dancers from the Cherokee Nation or something, but it covers everyone except atheists. It's a generic prayer.
And he had a great explanation. But I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear what it was. But he said it had nothing to do with, you praying to God. It was more from the opposite end. I don't know. But he stood stern, and I was very proud.
No, I like him. And, you know, one of the things, Steve and I, we've talked about this many times on the show. One of the things that we've been missing in this country for several years, we don't have a Christian leader anymore. All the Christian leaders are dead that we had. Jerry Falwell, Pat Robertson, there are no more Christian leaders. These preachers we have now, like Osteen, are a bunch of fakes. And Mike Johnson is not just a MAGA conservative, he is an evangelical Christian, and rarely do you hear him talk when it doesn't come up. And that's a good thing. And hopefully we'll get some good preachers, somebody that comes up. And, you know, I really miss Steve, like, you know, all this gender weirdness that's going on. Can you imagine if this was going on in the day? Jerry Falwell would have put a stop to this. And back in the 80s or 90s, this stuff would have been over ages ago. But we don't have a Christian leader, a national, obviously there's Christians and there's pastors and stuff, but we don't have like an activist Christian, outspoken, charismatic national figure to take on these things. And I'm hoping that Mike Johnson will kind of become that a little bit and inspire somebody else to take over the job outside of the government. But hey, I appreciate the call. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just mention, too bad Billy Graham's son doesn't speak about that. I mean, he's very good with the charity, but...
You talk about Franklin Graham's... Listen, there are certain people that are charismatic national leaders, and Franklin Graham is... I like Franklin Graham, but he's not that, okay? And there's just not, and we always had those when I was growing up, and you know who I like a lot is Jim Baker. Jim Baker from the Jim Baker. Let me tell. No, I'll tell you. You know, Jim Baker. He's still around. I watch his show. It's online and stuff. And I've even gone back and watched some of the PTL. He just got hooked up with the finance. He had such an overhead, you know, financially with that thing. But even him, we don't have anybody like Jim Baker. None of these people. I have no idea.
He's getting. I gotta look.
Who's he with? You don't remember?
No, he's independent.
I'm talking about like somebody that's like a nationally known, famous person that, like, you know, like right now, like I was telling you, anytime there's an incident of anything, they go to Nikki Haley for an opinion. I'm talking about a Christian leader that every time something happens, the nation go to them to hear what they think about it, like Jerry Falwell or Pat Robertson was awesome. You know, I appreciate the call.
Thank you for taking it.
Yeah, I want to tell everyone about my chiropractor. Oh man, Dr. Appleton has really changed my life. There's so many chores I can't get out of in the house anymore because I'm physically fit and pain-free. No, but, you know, we've gotten all this landscaping done. We're getting an orange tree and all this stuff. You know, I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff if Dr. Appleton had not rid me of pain. He's done it 5 times. Sometimes just from growing older, like my arthritis, but other times have been from injuries, from skateboard accidents and such. But if you're suffering with pain, go see Dr. Appleton. You know, his laser wave pain treatment works. He's rid me of pain 5 times. You've heard some of our listeners in the recorded commercials talk about their experiences, and those are people that have randomly called in. You know, the last time I went to see Dr. Appleton, I ran out into a listener in the parking lot who was coming up just for a follow-up visit, and he was just raving that he had been suffering with pain for years, and Dr. Appleton, after 2 treatments, rid him of his pain. I thought the guy wanted to hug me, Steve. He was so excited. You know, I'm not going to hug a man in the parking lot. I don't know people. But it works on so many different types of pain. I've gone through a list. It's an incomplete list, but a very long list many times on the air. You guys have heard me. And another cool thing about Dr. Appleton, he performs all of the laser treatments himself. I thought he was just doing it for me. I thought I was getting, you know, special treat because we're talking. He's talking to me about how it works so I can talk to you guys. And he says, you know, Brian, I do all these treatments on all the patients myself. And I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive that Dr. Appleton does that. You know, he doesn't have an assistant do it. Appointments are not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. There are no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. It's completely painless. When I've had my laser away pain treatments, I just sit there on my phone. I listen to something, or I'm reading on my phone, checking my emails on the Twitter or something. It just takes a few minutes. You can find Dr. Appleton online at AppletonChiro.com, AppletonChiro.com, or give him a call. And when you call, they'll text you driving directions to the office if you need them, by the way. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. Yeah, Steve, no, I don't want people to think I'm giving Mike Johnson, I love Mike Johnson. But sometimes, Steve, it's just, you just got to push somebody to do some things. But what I told the previous caller, the bureaucracy working under him is working against him. So I got to factor that in. I got to be patient, I guess, Steve. I'm just not patient. I do too. I do too. I did not like him at first because I didn't know him. I didn't know anything about him. And then when I started learning about him, I'm like, this guy's a good guy. I mean, he walks the walk. And if you go through his history before he was in Congress, he was an attorney for these Christian organizations and has done a lot of good. And he's not one of these politicians like Mike Pence who uses his religion as a way to gain support. He really walks the walk. And that's a very unusual thing for politicians. Okay, to really walk the walk and be a politician, because they kind of there's a conflict, I think, in being a true Bible-believing Christian and a politician. Yeah. So yeah, and if he's our speaker with a President Trump, don't worry, that wall will get finished. It's almost done anyway, right? And when President Trump comes in for his second non-consecutive term, he's going to have a mandate greater than any president since FDR. Okay.
He's just going to hit the ground running, and he's going to, from here on, he's going to be acting like the president. He's going to be talking about what he's going to do and how he's going to handle specific things, and people are going to start to feel good and secure, and they're going to say, "Hey, I would like this all the time."
And
it's going to be the thing I predict, which is a little on the edge.
Got 30 seconds, Steve.
It's going to be a lot bigger.
Congratulations, Pat.
Margin than anybody's thinking. I think Trump is going to blow him away.
Oh yeah. And when he's in his second term with Mike Johnson as the speaker, that's going to be a pairing we've never seen between the Congress and the White House, and I think things will go very, very, very fast. All right, well, listen, we're out of time for today. We'll be back tomorrow. My name's Brian. Steve Kane, of course, is here. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Steve, you've been on the radio almost half a century?
Unbelievable.
When you first started, is it true that you used to do the show in Morse code? They didn't have spoken word over radio yet? Can you imagine? Must have been. Okay, I heard. Must have been fun calls. All right, that's it. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless Donald Trump.
Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown. And
hey guys, before you go, make sure you like the video. And everyone, make sure you subscribe if you're new to my channel. All right? All right. I'll see you later. Take care, guys.